Niger's military rulers have demanded that the head of the United Nations diplomatic mission in the country leave within 72 hours. In a statement dated October 10th, Niger's foreign ministry accuses the UN of using obstacles to stop the West African nation from fully participating in last month's UN General Assembly. Madam Louise Aubin has been in post since January 2021. During the 70th session of the UN General Assembly held in September, a representative of Niger who was initially set to take the floor did not. According to a diplomatic source cited by the AFP, the organization had received two competing requests to address the assembly, one from the military rulers and one from the toppled government.
The United States said Monday it would weigh its security partnership with Niger following an announcement by Paris that it was withdrawing its forces. Speaking in Nairobi on Monday, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Washington was still committed to the return of civilian rule in Niger.
We really want to see a diplomatic solution evolve. We want to see a peaceful end to the crisis, and most important, we want to see preservation of Niger's diplomatically elected government. And so while we give diplomacy a chance, we'll also continue to evaluate any future steps that would prioritize both our democratic and our security goals. But these goals are intertwined.
Niger's army junta ended a military cooperation agreement with former colonial ruler France and kicked out its forces and envoy. After initially sounding defiant, French President Emmanuel Macron relented on Sunday, announcing the withdrawal of forces and the ambassador before the end of the year.
Niger's representative at the United Nations wasn't allowed to speak. And according to the UN, there was a misunderstanding of the whole situation. Like, Niger had two representatives at the United Nations, one from the government of Mohamed Bazoum and one from the military government that is currently in control. And they both had their credentials with them. And it was all of a sudden, so the UN didn't know what to do or how to handle this whole situation. So they had no choice but to stop both of them from giving a speech or making their claims in the General Assembly. So when that happened, Niger's neighbors like Mali and Burkina Faso spoke on Niger's behalf. In fact, they really criticized the UN for not allowing the Nigerian representative to speak. So that boils down into something very serious. And right now, Niger is like, we've had enough. It's high time UN representative in our country leave, because we realize that they do not share our interests. They do not want us to succeed. So there is no point having them in our country if they do not stand for our interests. So it's high time they leave. I want us to go through this article that really explains why Niger authority asked UN officials to leave the country. So the headline reads, Niger junta orders top UN official to leave the country. That the Niger military junta has said enough is enough. We like you. We hope you succeed. We hope you exist. But we've realized that you being here is not doing us any favor. You being here is not pushing our country ahead. You being here is not serving our interest or the interest of the common Nigerian. So there's no point being here. It would be better if you just go. Let's continue. Niger's junta has demanded that the top United Nations official they leave the country within 72 hours over accusations that Niger was excluded from the annual UN gathering of world leaders in New York last month. Niger military officials ousted President Mohamed Bazoum in July, suspending the constitution, dissolving all former institutions, and declaring General Abdurrahman Tiani as the West African country's new head of state. In a statement dated October 10, Niger's foreign minister accused the UN of using underhanded maneuvers instigated by France to prevent its full participation in the high-level UN General Assembly meeting last month and in subsequent meetings of UN agencies that were held in Vienna and Riyadh. As a consequence, the government has ordered UN Resident Coordinator Louis Obin to leave, said the statement. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres deeply regrets the move, said his spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric, reiterating the unwavering commitment of the United Nations to stay and deliver for the people of Niger. The decision impairs the ability of the organization to effectively carry out its mandate and disrupt the essential work we do for the people of Niger, where 4.3 million are in need of humanitarian assistance, mostly women and children. No one from Niger addressed the gathering of world leaders in New York last month after competing claims were made by the Junta and Bazoum's government for the country's UN seat. UN accreditation issues are dealt with by a 9-member committee whose members include the United States, China, and Russia. The committee is not due to meet until October or November when it will make a decision. So you can see what the whole problem was all about, right? Niger military junta wanted to speak at the UN General Assembly, but they were stopped from doing that because the former President Mohamed Bazoum also had someone representing Niger at the gathering. So it was a total confusion, and UN thought that it would be wise if they just stop both of them from speaking and try to get this issue resolved. So let's wait and see how the whole thing is going to play out. But I believe that the government in Niger is now the military leadership. There is no way I see Mohamed Bazoum getting back power in Niger. As far as I'm concerned, it's done with him. He just had to move on. But then again, what do I know? So to you guys out there, let me know your take on this whole issue in Niger. Do you think that some Western nations might be behind the reason why this whole confusion took place? Do you think that some other nations like France might be cooking everything behind the scene just to make sure that they frustrate the efforts of the military government in Niger? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of good tweet, the way you're doing just now, help us a lot, and we shall ever be grateful to you. So, thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.